Mariner Books and Harper Audio present No Ordinary Assignment, a Memoir, by Jane Ferguson. This is the author. For Fanny Marr. Author's Note. I wrote No Ordinary Assignment with one main purpose in mind: to answer, with total honesty, the question, why do you do this work? Really, why? I am asked this question often. Most war reporters are. At public events, on panels, when speaking to people anywhere in the world, and always, always at dinner parties. There are neat answers, popular ones, about speaking truth to power and bearing witness. I am, as you will learn in these pages, wholeheartedly dedicated to human rights, truth, and helping the world understand itself in all its beauty and ugliness. But that's not the whole story of why I made the choices I did in my life, and why this particular work became so important to me. Investigative reporters, financial journalists, aid workers, human rights lawyers, they all do worthwhile, impactful, and sometimes dangerous work. But it takes a certain type of person to be a war reporter. We are complex, curious creatures with wandering souls, and we are shaped and driven as humans and professionals beyond our grand ideals and neat, noble phrases. We are shaped by where we came from and, as we progress, by the things we have seen. As I wandered through the hallways and rooms of my memories, connecting my life's events, however triumphant or painful, I found it impossible to answer the question why without digging deep into my own personal journey. Who I became as a reporter grew out of the life I led. In this book, I have included many personal details of my life, not for entertainment, although some are funny, but to help you understand the choices I made, the roads I traveled. I have laid out the facts and events of my life and career as honestly and clearly as possible. It was my intention not to glamorize or gloss over parts of my life, but to tell the true story of a real person. Most of the people mentioned are named, but in the interest of privacy, pseudonyms have been used for a few key people in my life. As with most memories, mine is not infallible, and any errors are unintentional. However, sweary language, bad jokes, and excessive mentions of chicken excrement are all entirely intentional. Prologue. Kabul, August 2021. Several dozen reporters filled the Serena's lobby, some trying to leave, others trying to figure out how to stay. Few had any way of going anywhere. The Afghan drivers who had worked for news organizations wouldn't pick any reporters up, including ours. Who would want to be stopped at a Taliban checkpoint with Westerners in the back of your car? The hotel security chief walked by, and I grabbed him by the arm. A blonde British former soldier, he looked awkward in a suit. It was too tight around his wide, burly body. I'll call him Mike. Is it safe to stay here? I asked, eyeing him for an honest assessment. I can't get the security staff to come for the next shift of work at the gate, he replied, whispering in my ear to avoid frightening the others. I'm leaving to go to the Baron Hotel by the airport, he said. The British paratroopers are based there managing the evacuations. Mike agreed to give us a ride to the Baron in his armored car. My cameraman Eric and I would relocate just for the night to be safe. When Mike came marching across the car park to his armored SUV, he had changed. He had taken off his suit and wore camouflaged body armor and an ammunition belt around his chest. A 9mm pistol hung from his hip, and he carried a military-grade automatic rifle in his hands. As we climbed into the back of the vehicle, I was painfully aware that we looked like soldiers. The decision to leave the Serena and careen out into Kabul's streets as the Taliban arrived was impossibly tough. Was it safer to stay and take our chances with potential looters at the hotel, totally unprotected, or to make a run for it with this former British soldier? It was too late to change our minds now, I realized, as we pulled out of the hotel gates and Mike cocked his gun with a loud clack-clack. My heart beat fast as the city's streets, once so familiar and benign to me, rushed by, now so unknown and dangerous. At first, there was no one around.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?